even though I could easily get in there with bat form. I kind of wonder if that's another problem with the Saturn wolf physics. Yeah, because I don't think that'll work. Again, I could be wrong, but in either case, we're just going back through the... We'll just go back through the entrance here, because it's going to be the way to get to the original like entry point of the castle. And what I'll do here is, of course, get into the underground garden. And you know, one thing about this version that, again, no other version of the game really has is, again, the underground garden underneath that that trapdoor. I know a lot of people don't think it's really the best area by any means, but you know, really, aside from the Saturn development team, really no one really tried to complete it, which is, you know, kind of why I hold this version in such a high regard. You know, you can't really knock someone for trying, and really, the team who, you know, made this game, they were really the only ones who really gave it a go, so kind of a shame, but again, you know, Igarashi, you know, really just saw fit to, you know, alter, you know, pre-existing parts of the game, also kind of tack on Maria, which was again borrowed from this game. It wasn't done as well, in my opinion, even though, as I mentioned before, Saturn, like the Saturn version of Maria, you know, definitely takes quite a departure from, you know, the, you know, Rondo version of her, and the PSP version is, you know, a lot more faithful to what Maria, you know, probably should be, but again, she was a lot more powerful than, you know, she ended up being in the PSP version, so I just don't feel that it was, you know, accurate in that regard. Okay, so since we're saving here, what I'm going to do now is go back down through the entrance, which will actually be a lot quicker because of bat form, of course. Kind of forgot about that guy. Yeah, if you like knife weapons, and I don't mean like the daggers as like the sub-weapons. Oh, actually, you know what, let me open up something else here. Yeah, this is kind of a weird puzzle here. There's actually a hidden room here, but the problem is that it's not openable by conventional means. What you actually have to do is kind of go through in bat form, and then you kind of come out the other way. Let me see if I went through enough. I'm not sure if I did. Nah, I think I actually have to go all the way through. But in either case, what happens is you just go through one way in that, like, one form. You go through here as another, and then it opens that up. It's kind of a weird puzzle. I don't know how they would have really expected anyone to get it, but there you go. It's nothing I really use in there anyway, but, you know, it's something. It's, you know, extra percentage on the map. And yeah, here we have that trapdoor open. What I'm gonna do first, though, I can't remember what this is. I think it gives you like a special attack as the wolf. I really don't use wolf form though, so I don't really care. But nonetheless, it's something. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, and as some of you may already know, of course it is possible to get down into this area in the PlayStation version, but there's really nothing there aside from, there's like a little bit of water here, and then this, I think this leads to a save point in that version. I can't remember if it's the exact same layout or anything, though. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing. Like I said, that's one of the reasons that I really don't consider the PlayStation, well, really any other version that doesn't have something under there, which really would basically include all of the, you know, different versions aside from the Saturn one, because that's the only one that really has anything in there. I just don't feel that any of the version's truly complete. And I know that some people, you know, tend to diss this area just because it's, you know, enemies look a little bit strange. And, you know, I'm obviously not the first to admit that, you know, they are a little bit, you know, below par as far as the enemies in this game go, but they're not horrible. And actually, some of these, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, some of these have some, they were actually the start to, you know, enemies that did actually start to make regular appearances in the game, so, I mean, I really don't see what the problem is. I'm not really sure about the gargoyles that you would have seen toward the beginning. The interesting thing about the gargoyles is that I'm pretty sure they might be one of the first games that they, you know, actually showed up. And again, I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100%. Okay, I'm trying to kind of kill the dog first. Yeah. I don't really think it matters, but nonetheless, just kind of wanted to. There are these water leapers here, which are, yeah, they can be kind of annoying. They can really surprise you. And they're totally fucking me up, actually. They're kind of, yeah. Although they're not that tough, but, you know, they do, you know, populate pretty quickly. And here's the tree that pretty much everyone hates, but, I mean, I think it's kind of a cool enemy, personally. I just like the death animation. It kind of fades out. Kind of got hit there. Wasn't expecting that. And yeah, then what I'll do is just cover the rest of the map. The only real downside to these areas is the fact that, you know, it doesn't really take a lot of time to really cover them. I mean, you can go through this, you know, relatively quickly, and there's like a lot of wasted space in here. Yeah, that's really the only gripe I have with it. It's a cool area in terms of concept, but I mean, they really could have put a lot more into it as far as, you know, the layout and everything goes. So we'll save right here. And we'll make our way to the boss. And yeah, there's some other enemies in here. There are these gardeners, which, yeah, I'll admit, those are pretty fucking horrible as far as enemies go. But yeah, in either case, it's, you know, nothing terribly detrimental to the game. And you know what, these, one thing that is kind of, well, I guess interesting here is these little, these droplets of poison. They're kind of annoying because they're really hard to see. And, you know, if nothing else, the thing I like about these Saturn exclusive areas and the enemies is that they do introduce some new dynamics, you know, into like how you would have to, you know, kill enemies, or, you know, just like different hazards. I mean, that's I'm pretty sure that's the only environmental hazard that's actually, well, aside from spikes, but I'm pretty sure that that's one of the few environmental hazards in the game. Well, I guess the water, although that eventually, you know, becomes like a non-issue, but nonetheless. I mean, it's just kind of interesting because they added a, you know, a different environmental hazard into this version of the game that you don't really see in the other ones. And these things are a little bit annoying, in that if you're dealing with completely flat ground, as opposed to like a slope there, yeah, they can be a bit of a problem. Just because they, well, basically they're like Venus flytraps, and they just kind of close in on you. So yeah, it can be a little bit overwhelming if you're not really prepared to face them, but yeah, I mean, all you need is a slope and they become a non-issue there. So here we go, we're going to face the first Saturn exclusive boss here. And yes, it is kind of cheap. You have to make sure that you, jump at the beginning there. Just use those to kind of wear them down. God damn, I'm out of magic points. That sucks. Yeah, I should probably actually be using a ranged weapon right now. What do I want to use? I don't really want to use anything in here. I'll actually just kind of heal up a little bit, but that's about it. This really shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, I'll use one of these because I have several.